Welcome to Finextra. I'm Hannah Wallace, and with me today is Ronnie Millar, CEO of PaySend, and we're discussing business solutions to cross-border payments. Hello Ronnie, thank you very much for taking the time to speak with us today.
Thank you very much.
Now, historically, sending money abroad has proved pretty difficult and indeed expensive, especially for those working in the UK who want to send money abroad to support their families or friends. So can you tell me what changes have been made in this space to help people move money more easily, and what has been PaySend's involvement?
I think if you look at how the market's really started out, it's been a kind of a decades old market, at least in terms of remittances and sending money abroad. And the basis of that market has really been cash to cash. So people obviously delivering cash in the country they're sending it from and arriving as cash in the country it's getting sent to. And that requires quite a large physical infrastructure in both countries to get the cash collected in and to get the cash picked up at the other end. That means it's expensive for the consumer. And as well as the expense of actually collecting and delivering the cash, you also have the fundamental issue of you've still got to transfer the money through the international banking systems, which makes it slow. So historically, what the financial service industry has been delivering to consumers is a slow and expensive service for remittance payments. We kind of looked at it a slightly different way and said, okay, what's the fundamental problem we're trying to solve? And we felt that everybody was looking at it in terms of transferring money. How do we transfer money better? How do we transfer money more efficiently? And we said, well, if I'm sending money to somebody, I'm not transferring money. I want to give my friend, I want to give my family member, I want to give them money to spend. And it's not about transferring money, it's about giving them money to spend. So then we said, okay, well, how do people spend money? What's the patterns and the trends in spending money? And when we looked at that on a global basis, really the trends are really quite obvious and clear wherever you look, which is that the trend is from cash to card. In other words, people moving away from cash spending. Having said, okay, that's the problem, we said, okay, well, what's the solution? And for us, it then became clear that from our point of view, in terms of disrupting this market, we should be delivering a mechanism which allows people to transfer onto cards. And that's what really gave us the original idea of saying, okay, we want a global card-to-card solution. And we're the only people that have that today.
All right, I can see how you've tried to tackle the problem in a different way, but can you tell me how have you turned this idea into a business solution?
In terms of making a business solution, obviously what we've done is really gone about through connecting to the major card schemes, which are Visa, MasterCard, China UnionPay, 3 major card schemes globally, and as well as that with awful local card schemes. And our technology platform connects all that together, and that's over 12 billion cards globally. We're connecting together through our technology platform. Now, saying we're connecting together 12 billion cards, that sounds lovely and it sounds easy. It's not quite as simple as that, as you may have guessed, and it's taken us a number of years to do. You've got to pull together various things. You've got to pull together, obviously, there's a software development element to it. There is a card processing element to it. There's a settlements element to it. There's legal, there's compliance. There's a whole range of things you've got to pull together into your proprietary platform to create that business solution. And at the end of the day, once we've pulled all that together, which is what we've done, and it's what we launched last year, what you're left with is a product for a customer who, he takes his card, he enters the details of his card, he gets the card details for his family or friend member, he enters those details, he presses a button, and off goes the money. The money arrives on the card of the recipient, and it can be spent, which is the key delivery, the key requirement.
All right, now coming on to the question of security, and I think you've touched on this already. Everyone doing cross-border payments talks about security and trust. So where does your two-card solution fit in here?
I think from our point of view, in terms of delivering security and trust for the consumer, the card-to-card solution delivers a much more obviously secure and trustworthy solution from the consumer point of view. So the quality of the names we have to partner with, Visa, MasterCard, China UnionPay, to deliver our solution gives them great levels of assurance about ourselves as a business. And then in terms of obviously the actual infrastructure we have, I say we're a level 1 PCI DSS card processor. We are also a third-party processor qualified for Visa, MasterCard. So we've been through all of these security checks, and the customer point of view then knows, well, A, I can trust this business, and B, my money's secure.
And finally, Ronnie, what trends and problems are you seeing in the payment space? And are you trying to come up with any solutions to tackle them?
Yeah, I mean, we've carried on obviously looking at the market and analysing the market and thinking, how do we develop our own product or new solutions for what's happening in the market? And if you look at the global transfers product, the card-to-card that we launched last year, that was all about one person in one country and one person in another country. And we had, okay, well, what about if we turn that around and say we've got one person in two countries? In other words, the travelling market, people that travel around. How does our product work for that? A slight difference and change. And so when we started thinking about that issue, we sort of said, okay, people like to spend cash when they go abroad, and people like to spend some cards. But what's the analysis? What's the fundamental analysis? And again, that led us back to the trend globally is onto cards and away from cash. And then they said, okay, well, how do people go about spending from cards? And at the moment, obviously, you've got a range of cards. You've got a card if you want to spend sterling, you can get a travel card if you want to spend euros, another travel card if you want to spend dollars. And we said, well, why have you got all those cards? What's the point of having a whole lot of cards? How can we solve that problem? And then I'll come to that, back to that in a second. And then at the same time, we thought, well, the cryptocurrencies, everybody's reading and thinking about cryptocurrencies. But most people view cryptocurrencies as something special, something outside the ordinary. Can we make cryptocurrencies just part of the ordinary for people? So it's not thought of as something exceptional, it really doesn't connect to their day-to-day lives. And we put all those analyses and thoughts together, and we came up with the idea for the global account. And what our global account does is it unites traditional currencies and cryptocurrencies into a single global account. And with it, we match up a physical and virtual card, but one single card that allows customers to transact whichever way they choose from whatever money is in the wallet. So I've turned that into a simple example. So I've opened up my global account, I'm living here in the UK, I'm going to load it up with some sterling. I decided, okay, I might want to go abroad. So I'll go into that global account and I'll just switch some money at our exchange rates, obviously which are market exchange rates, into euros, and I might actually switch some into Bitcoin as well. So now I'm holding sterling, I'm holding euros, and I'm holding Bitcoin. I want to go shopping. So we're going to nip down to the coffee shop here. I'll take you down for a coffee. I'll nip into the shop and I'll take out my card, I'll take out my physical card, and we'll spend some sterling. You tell me you want a cake from the shop next door. So while we're walking to the shop next door, I'll simply go into the app and I'll switch from sterling, I'll switch to Bitcoin. While we're walking in, we'll walk to the shop next door and I can take the physical card out again, or I could just take the card out and use it virtually through a mobile device. And this time, as we make the card purchase, it will automatically come out of my Bitcoin amount that's sitting in my global account. So we are managing to create a completely seamless choice for the customer as to how they want to hold their money and how they want to spend their money, and also how they want to transfer their money. You can use those mechanisms for transfer as well. And that's really about, for us, it's about creating really the money of the future. It's about money without borders. And that's what our fundamental proposition is for our global account.
Ronnie, this has been great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching.